our main premise is that on the web today, the only way you can interact with information is two ways. Keyword searches and handmade, manually created web links. Of course, there are other infrastructures. That's why I'm afraid you guys are going to take your hands up. It seems very primitive to me. If we look at the history of interactive text, in the 50s and 60s, you could do more than what we can do today. Today, everything has been dumbed down, Mac style, point and click. You can do very, very few things. What about all the words on a web page that someone hasn't bothered to go through and say, hey, this is important, it's worth a link? Why can't we interact with that? Of course, there are some extensions in Firefox. There's some different groups coming together with specific things in specific places. But why is there no interaction language? Why can't we say things like we can in an English sentence, do this with this and this way? That doesn't exist. Let me show you what we have not released yet. So this is a live BBC webpage, but as you can see from the URL, it's gone through our server. This will be a plugin. It is not yet a plugin. It's a server-based solution. The way it works is really simple. You point to any text and you get a menu. You've all seen different kinds of specific menus before, so let me just take you through and explain why this is a different kind of a menu. If you want to do a search in Google, you do this. That's quite obvious, right? If you want to do lookups and references, you can do that. You can search this site if you want. You can search for links pointing to the page. There are political specific searches you can do. Scientific, business, Reuters. For instance, this is interesting. You can, if you want to, look up the share price for the word. Yeah, because this is quite important, because there is, you see it says unrest is not a valid symbol. It's not a company. This allows you to do really stupid things. It's a bit like, because we're trying to develop a language, we're not trying to guess for you what kind of content and what kind of actions will be useful. If you want to look up the word "the" in the dictionary, you can do that. If you want to Google the word "the," you can do that. It is up to you. Just like when you use normal language talking to another person, you can make very intelligent queries asking, I was asking Patricia directions there today. That was very difficult.
For a man, yes, it always is.
Yes, exactly. So here, let me show you a different kind of thing. If I select this, and for some reason I've decided it's really important, I need to email this to somebody. I can just choose mail selection now. It opens my email program. The text is already there, plus the URL, the subject is the name of the page. Not rocket science, but it saves you a couple of trips pasting back and forth. And it illustrates that what we're talking about here is an interaction language.
And it also tells you that his name is Frode Hegland, and although it says University College London, he is in fact, at least theoretically, coming out to California.
Yes, that's because of you guys. I've tried to do this in the UK. If I even talk to my friends about staying up all night doing cool stuff, they go watch a movie. Seriously. Now I lost my whole train. Okay, the final thing, which I think is what makes this menu approach very different from other menu approaches. Look at, for instance, search. See that S is now blue? See the S here is blue, and that G is blue? That's because they're keyboard shortcuts. SSG, search Google. So we're developing an interaction language. You don't even have to use the menu after a while. So you will know in the future, if you want to search Google, SSG. If you want to mail something to somebody, MN, mail now. The reason we have the now is because you can have your friends' names there. So MP for maybe mail Patricia, something like this. Yes?
Out of curiosity, I mean, you demonstrated there just sort of clicking on a single word. Can you sort of highlight the sentence?
Yes. When I did the mailing thing, where I brought it to my email program, that was a whole selection. I'll show you.
It has a number of cool tricks. So for example, if something is 2 words, all caps, if you float over that, so National Enquirer, it'll recognize that 2 words next to each other that are both capped are are grouped together. So it'll let you do SSG, search Google, National Enquirer.
Yep.
Or you can highlight whatever you want.
So now I can do a search for, let's use Yahoo, because they break so much ignored these days. Now we're searching for that whole string, not just one word. So you can see on top, urban unrest in France, and guess what? A lot of pages referring to this comes up. It can also do other things like translations, which is not working in this version. You can mark up the page with different colors. But we're interested in finding partners who have really neat web services that they want to have in a system like this. Because we make no pre-thinking for you guys whatsoever. You know, you can search Google Maps for the word urban if you feel like it. Any other questions? Oh, you look like you have a couple more.
Some part of this felt a little bit like.
Let me show you while you talk it.
I don't know if you call it. I think it's called teletext or something like that. Where if you went to sites like Forbes, they were sort of doing an ad tie-in where the word computer, for example, would be linked to something completely unrelated to the context. And so that's one of the challenges here. Are you looking to go to the place where you can start to dynamically determine the context a little bit so that, for example, you know, urban unrest in France, etc., the only thing that you can sort of search on might be limited down to political?
No. Because we think that you guys are a hell of a lot smarter than we could ever be. So for us to limit your language, I mean, it's really clunky. It's easy and clunky to use in the beginning. If you want to do a political search on this, as you saw, you do this, you go down, it takes a long time. Let's go to US Political Congress. Anybody can do that. It's a single click. But it's slow. So what we hope after a while is that you will do the keyboard shortcuts. And we don't have to limit that for you. You don't actually see it. If you want to look up something in Wikipedia, that would be S for search, reference R, W, SRW. You will know that. So you won't ask a stupid query unless you feel like it. We don't have to restrict you.
What are the degrees of user customization of the menus?
I'll show you. Maybe. It's a new version. Let's see if it's here. See at the very bottom underneath Yahoo in gray? It says suggest new. So that means that we're having two ways you can customize it. One, you can, on all the menu items, you can suggest something, and automatically the top 10 will always be there. So that's a really cheap and easy way for us to make sure you're happy without having to bother. Right? The second way is there will be a menu item. Let's just go up here again. You see here is Grease Monkey for Grease Monkey scripts. There's also my menu. Patricia and me who are doing the business and development side of this, we're not programmers. We have a programmer in Russia. He's phenomenal. But he really hates having to change everything just because we change typeface. So he's developed an extensible framework where you can set this character is related to this word and does this script. You're going to have that on my menu. Also, if you're a webmaster and you want this, you can have it. Then you have this site menu. You can have whatever you want, put your Grease Monkey or any other framework in there. And this is where we're very ignorant. So you guys, if you have ideas for better ways to make things happen on web pages, make it more interactive, we would love to find ways to work with you to integrate that into this.
So if you'd like, our time is up, but if you'd like to talk with us further, come and holler at us, or hyperwords.net has our contact information. Thank you.
Yes, if you want to go to the site, you can sign up. You just contact us and we'll tell you when the private alpha is happening, and you will have the plugin to play around with if you want to. Okay, thanks for your time.
Thank you.